Greetings and salutations, my name is JW608 and today I am playing Plasma. Specifically, Plasma Early Access 0.3.2.0. This is a fun little, I was going to call it an engineering game. It's engineering sandbox, more or less. And I think I want to dive headfirst into the world of Plasma. So, I have not put a lot of time into this game. I think Steam said it was like 5.5 hours or something like that. But I did make this office. Isn't it nice? I have a computer, and I have a frame of my favorite person, and I have some controls and stuff. And I have this chair. I can get off the chair. If I can ever see myself, yeah, there's my shadow. I'm like this little hover robot. It's really neat. Oh, let me show you my camera. So I can turn on my monitor. And I have a camera on top of this thing showing me the world. There's some stuff I built. And I can use this joystick to turn my camera around. Or move my camera around, I guess. Isn't that neat? Turn that off. Don't know why. I did. And, I built all this stuff in this room here. That up there is the most important part. That's the controller thing. We'll get to that. We'll get to everything at some point. But I just want to show off this cool stuff, like these LCDs. They're light controls. So I can turn on the lights, and I can turn off the lights, and I can even dim the lights. Oh yeah, see the lamp there? Oh yeah, nice and bright or awful dark. Then I'm not sure about this door. I made a door lock so you can lock the door so the outside switch doesn't open or close it, but I have this to open and close. I have a doorbell camera. That's that guy there. There's the other camera. In fact, I can move that joystick over. When we come back out, it's still pointed the same way. Oh, because I'm using a joystick, it snaps back. Oh, duh. Alright. But I have this door control on either side. I can lock the door, so this doesn't work. Isn't that neat? And then I have these window opacity dials. Slider, it's a single slider. See got those windows? Oh, they're opaque. Like, there. Yeah, no, they're like tinted. And they're windows again. No, they're still tinted, but not like they were. Alright, so let me show you how I did all this. We're gonna look at this, we're gonna press Q. And here is our pseudo programming language. Oh yeah, this is great, isn't it? Start with something easy like lights. So we have each node is a device. Like this light button is this button here. And each button, if you look at a device and press E, it has some properties, like you can choose the LED strip color, whether you want continuous output. It has mass, friction, bounce, and name, and all that good stuff. And oh, where is it? And it's a Boolean control. And this is that's a color control. The slider here. Here's its position, the mouse mapping, whether you want moving up and down on the mouse to be horizontal or vertical. Then again, choosing the color. Switches have a position. I can set it on or off here, and again the color. And the same for that switch. This LED, I can turn its state on or off or adjust the color. I can do all that through these. In fact, I can come to my LCD, and I can say the content is door lock, and then mode is manual scroll because it doesn't need to scroll. Which position? Choose -2 because everything else looks off. -2 looks centered. How many decimal digits for numbers and all that good stuff. Alright, but you can also do that through these nodes. You get all your components to your attached device as long as you have a controller board. There's a button on it. Cool. Right. As long as there's a controller board, you can get all these nodes and tell them to do stuff. Like I have this light button. When it's pressed, it toggles lamp 1, 3, 2, and 4. And the light dimmer, the output position, controls the intensity of those lights. You just drag and drop to wherever you like. Stop that. Like, here's the logic for my camera. For the camera, it sends a feed to this screen. And this is the switch on the screen that turns it on or off. And here's a joystick that controls the servo on the camera on top of the servo, which is glued to a rod, which is glued to the camera on top of the building. Here's my camera door. It's just that camera you saw earlier, attached to sending its feed to the content input of the camera screen. Here's my window logic. It's just the output position of the slider going to the glass opacity. And then here's my horrible door logic. The switch looks at a gate, whether or not it's locked, then writes to a variable. And then the door state is the variable. And then the inside switch door just opens it. And this turns the LED on for the door lock. Cool, huh? And it's... well, that's messy, but the rest of it's nice and clean and pretty. That's better. Alright. And you can do some really cool stuff with this. In fact, you can even use Lua scripts. Isn't that neat? I experimented a little. I don't know Lua, so it was basically a Hello World program. And I was playing around with keyboards and transmitters. They're transmitters. So, oh, where's my transmitter? Or transceiver. I can send data on different channels and frequencies and receive data on different channels and frequencies. So example, on this device, I can pull this lever up and it turns this fan on. Or I can move it all the way down. Now the fan's running backwards. That button just stops it. And I can even send data like text, like I just saved a variable with 608. The transceiver transceivinated it and put it here on this screen as 608. And that also made this motor move at a target speed of 608. Isn't that neat? So there's all types of cool stuff you can do with it. See, like this. This is... I don't really need that ticker. This joystick sends stuff to channel 1 and 2. The horizontal position to 1 and 2. And the vertical position, it multiplies it by 10 and sends it to channel 2. And then it receives on channel 4 and sends to the content of this screen. Well, this little guy here, his camera sends on channel 4 and then receives on channel 2 target speeds. So if you recall, I sent the vertical position of my joystick to channel 2. I'm not using channel 1 on this, I'm just playing around. So I can make my little robot go forward, and there's a camera on it. See, but if you make him go too fast. Oh, I was getting him to, yeah. It's getting him to topple over. Right. I know most people on YouTube so far have, oh no, stop that little robot. I don't have control left or right, I just forward and backwards. I'm not real sure why. Well, he probably turned because I was flinging him upside down. Oh, too much power. Oh, come on. Okay. There he goes. Anyway, most people start with the tutorial island, but you've seen that 100 times if you've been watching. So I wanted to start off showing some of the junk I've made. Well, let's make something. Let's get a box, because boxes are fun. And let's get tab. Let's get a button, because buttons are even more fun. If you hold down control, you can make it a big button. because big buttons are the best. I like big buttons. I cannot lie. Let's get a lamp on it. Now we can also control the time of day. So we can make it dark, make it light. At what, 10 o'clock, and then you can adjust the speed. If you set it to 0%, time doesn't change. You don't have to worry about your lighting changing every so often. Alright, but now, if I hit Q on this, it says no controllers on this device, so you can stick stuff to it, but it's not going to do anything. Now I have a controller on it, so if I hit Q, I have my Device 06 controller here. It starts with a ticker. I haven't used the ticker yet, but we can drag our button. And this is what happens when it's pressed or released. And a lamp. You can turn it on, turn it off, toggle it. You can set its intensity. On a release, let's toggle. R to solidify this thing. Alright. I'm not done yet. I want a slider. That's what I want. I want a slider. Let's take the slider. I want the output position to go to the intensity. I want that to look prettier. And if you have a connection you don't want, just hover your mouse over it and right click. We're learning together. And so now, when I hit R, I should turn this on and I should be able to make it really intense or not that intense. Cool. So let's make it not that intense and advance the time to like 2200. That's quite the moon. I'm just now noticing I kind of hum when I move. I don't know if you can pick that up on the video or not. It gets dark. It gets not well. I get the bright blue moon thingy. Yeah, midnight is. I can't see anything. I'm glad they have these here. So let's turn our light on and adjust the brightness. Yeah, and I can pick this up. Oh, I can pick this up and carry it with me. You can even turn it. Ooh, yeah. No, I control. That was Alt. They got me a flashlight, basically. Not sure about the wah 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 sound while I'm holding a flashlight. And I can throw by holding. All right. And I can double click W to run. Whee! And let's take you back to daylight so I can actually see. Yeah, so that's how easy it is to build with this game. And it's just a matter of hooking nodes together. And I think this is gonna be fun. And then you can get rid of it if you don't want it. And there's all types of things like drones, conveyors, gravity controllers, gyros, magnets, motors, servos, thrusters, shock absorbers, experimental pieces, because we're still in early access, mind you. Experimental communicators so you can communicate to people on Steam. Messaging through Steam's network. I don't think there's a multiplayer for version yet. Oh, there's a death ray. A death ray there. Let's see. Let's get a button. I want a triangle button. Death ray and a triangle button. I want a fire on release. That does not seem to affect me. Oh. Oh Okay. That was not as fun as I thought it would have been. And you can pull these parts off. If I grab them? Oh, no, don't grab them. You have to look at it, detach, then delete. If you grab the root part and delete it, then the whole thing is gone. I've done that before. All right. So this is plasma. And I think we're going to have fun with this. Learning about it and growing and adapting and maybe even learning a little Lua. Learning some looks like fairly simple visual programming. Learning a little engineering. All that good stuff. Great, isn't it? All right. Oh, and you have a... Well, since I am a little hover robot, I can hover. Isn't that amazing? Double space turns on like your jetpack. Right, so let me get back to my desk. And I think I'm going to experience some of my favorite parts of gameplay, just learning. Oh, remember to save devices of the world. Press F6, open the properties, and click save. F8 to save the world. Ha! I saved the world. Anywho, I have been JW608. This has been Plasma, and I will dig you cats later.